Simply put, water is essential. In fact, it's one of our most important natural resources. It plays a major role in generating electricity, and it's used in most modern manufacturing processes too. It took more than 1,500 liters of water just to make the computer you're watching this video on. Water is also a key for plant and animal health, so a great deal of water is used for food production. We tend to use a lot of water recreationally too. It's part of our everyday lives. You and I are made up of over 50% water. Okay, so water is important. But why should Canadian dairy farmers care? Well, the agricultural sector is one of the top consumers of water in Canada. And while the majority is used for crop production, a significant amount of water is also consumed to raise livestock. Think about it. Water for cows to drink and cool off with, water to cool the milk, water to clean and sanitize equipment, water for crops, water for milking. Water is pretty important on a dairy farm. The dairy farmers of Canada have said that it takes about 20 liters of water to produce 1 liter of milk. In 2013, Ontario alone shipped 2.53 billion liters of milk to processors. That's roughly 50 billion liters of water a year used in the Ontario dairy industry alone. That's a lot of water. Okay, but Canada has 20% of the world's fresh water. I think we've got a lot at our disposal. Well, even though Canada is fortunate enough to have a lot of fresh water, Environment Canada notes that the vast majority of it is not renewable, so it's a limited resource, especially when you consider that water usage in Canada has dramatically increased over the past 50 years. A rising population means more growth and development, which means more water being used. Farmers in particular also need to consider that Canada's water is not distributed evenly, so the amount of water available in different places can be highly variable. Some parts of Canada suffer from drought, while others experience flooding. And this is changing over time too, so lots of water today doesn't guarantee lots of water tomorrow. Climate change is playing a role in water availability too. More heat means more stress on water for crops and for cattle. Just take a look at southern Ontario. Here's how dairy farms are spread out in this area of the province. Now look at temperature data. The average temperature has steadily risen since the 1960s, and scientists are expecting this trend to continue. 2045 looks pretty darn hot. These trends will have important impacts on the dairy industry at provincial and national levels. More concern over water availability will likely lead to more active monitoring of water use in all agricultural sectors, which will then influence how policies and regulations are formed to ensure we're all doing our part. So it's clear that we all need to start thinking about ways to conserve and sustainably consume water. But you know, saving water has multiple benefits, and not just for the industry. The cost-benefit of adopting water conservation technologies, like shallow water troughs or storage tanks for reuse, and making an effort to manage the farm with less water leaves you with more money in your pocket at the end of the day. Overall, saving water is the right thing for our future. By focusing on water conservation, the industry does its part in reducing impact on the environment, and dairy farms are able to operate more cost-effectively, which means dairy farmers are able to run more profitable businesses and ensures that this can all be a reality for generations to come. So the verdict is in, and experts agree. Canada faces a number of challenges in managing fresh water. As an important part of Canadian food production, dairy farmers and their industry are taking responsibility and being proactive about water use. And at the end of the day, if we can produce products with less environmental impact and fewer resources, then we're taking a step in the right direction. Want to see examples of Ontario dairy farmers focusing on water conservation on their own farms? Click on the videos in the main menu to hear dairy farmers share their stories about water conservation.